trying to rest that part or bring it home. That says, I understand, Chair, I heard what the Chair said.
Yes.
I was just saying that most of the communications will be, if ever, it will be once in a month, maybe, if it happens. Not that it was like constantly, they are scattered, but now as it is being presented.
Yeah, I hear that, but I'm not sure of its relevance in the context of the point being made now. Perhaps let's just proceed, General. Yeah. Yes, Ms. Hasim.
Thanks, Chair. So let's just keep going down. Now we were 6 o'clock, it's confirmed. Right, that's still at page 343. The next message from you on the same page is at chat number 8 at 1641, where you say, still with the National Commissioner, let's see how it goes. Okay. Then the next message is, and just to be clear, I'm going to put all of the messages to you so you see the whole picture before I ask you questions. So I'm not trying to bombard you. I'm just trying to give you one coherent picture. Okay? So he says to you, Sergeant Nkosi, at 1642, should I let them know? You respond at 1724, yes, but let us see. Okay? And then that's at 1724. I have to take you then to that page we were at, 606 again. That's the chat now with Mr. Mutsumi. Okay. And again, he forwards your messages to Mr. Mutsumi. You'll see that in chats number 4, 5, and 6. Should I let them know? Yes, but let us see. Sentumule is still presenting. And then there's a phone call between him and that's Sergeant Nkosi and Mr. Mutsumi. Okay? And then we go back to your timeline on page 344 at 1827. Page 344, chat number 4.
Chat number?
4. And then at 1657, there's a phone call that goes out from you to Sergeant Nkosi. At 1858, you say still here, I think you mean, with General Sentumule and the National Commissioner. And at 1937, Sergeant Nkosi sends you a message saying, are you winning? You respond at 1939, we just finished now, are they still there? Sergeant Nkosi responds, yes. And then he asks you at 1945, how far? And you respond, as you go down the chats, you see this, right? How far? You respond, give me 30 minutes, on my way. Okay, so that's the component, the full component of the chats on this. So this is a meeting, obviously, that's being set up by Sergeant Nkosi between you and Mr. Mutsumi, right?
Yes.
But in this chat, you see that he refers to, and you say, are they still there? You refer to they and them. Who are the other people that you were meeting at this point?
If I remember,
or planning to meet.
If I remember very well, the meeting that I asked to discuss the project that I wanted to discuss is, I expected him to have put a team to, the people that I'm going to actually be able to speak to that can guide me and assist me. That's what I know. And that's exactly the meeting that was planned.
This is the meeting that was planned. Okay, so this was the urgent meeting you were wanting.
I take it so.
Okay. Well, it's quite some time since April to now in June having this meeting.
Yes.
So had the urgency worn away, or how do you explain the urgency now?
Is because when I came back, I don't think it happened. It never happened because the meeting never happened, never took place, and even here, as you could see, there was a little bit of impatience. Are you winning? How far? And because the time was supposed to be much earlier, and others had their own other arrangements. So, as I was saying, I'm on my way. Then, and it was like, you know what, Chief, let's postpone.
Oh, so did it never take place, this
I
meeting?
don't remember. It never happened.
So you took me down another, you went down a different road. You didn't answer the question I asked you, which is, what happened to the urgency that you had in April? You're telling me now that you were trying to get there and then this meeting got postponed. Okay, I hear that. But what I asked you was, you said that this meeting was the meeting you were talking about on the plane to Brazil, right?
Well,
and I'm saying that was urgent. You said it was urgent, so urgent that you wanted to have this meeting as soon as you returned from Brazil. And now we're in June. So what happened to the urgency? What made it lesser? Why didn't this meeting take place sooner then?
It's just that, Chair, I'm quite honestly speaking, because I'm talking, the timelines will hit me hard here, but remember that there are instances where I said I wanted to talk about the Boshoga matter. Because from where I'm sitting at this level, as the team is running, investigating and conducting investigation, but I think I can assist by speaking to someone who can call Matala or say to Matala, but do you know anything about this thing? If yes, why can't you release the person? I mean, in my case, we spoke to him. I asked him and he denied. And yet the family was it is around about the same time when he was already kidnapped or not, Mr. Boshoga. But I've met them on two different matters. The first one is the one that I spoke about, and the second one is I had to meet him on the Boshoga matter, and the other surname I forget, where the mother and the child was kidnapped, but it was on a different time.
Okay, so first when I asked you what was the meeting about, you said it was about that, this is the meeting you wanted to have. That's what you were referring to when you were on the plane to Brazil, right? It was about the report on extortion and the bucket system within the taxi, broadly speaking, industry, okay? And then when I asked you, but then if that was urgent and it was a report you were preparing.
See, that was the case. I'm speaking from where I'm speaking, from relying on my memory of something that happened in the past, I'm sure 2 years ago. Now, I'm saying I know that I met him on two different issues. 2 or 3 different issues. When I say 2 or 2 different issues, I'm saying once I'm talking to kidnappings, and then also that one of, I said he's in construction, but I also spoke about Jerry Boshoga, I mean the taxi bucket system.
Okay, I'm just pointing out to you that at first you said it was about one topic, and then you said, well, maybe it could have been about this other topic. But also what you said is, when you met them, this is now not just, if it's about Jerry Boshoga, I would think that you would want to have that conversation with Mr. Motsumi, not with a group of people.
Not with a?
Group of people. Because when you first spoke about this earlier today, your explanation was that Mr. Motsumi knows Mr. Matlala well. And you wanted to probe him and to get information on what's going on, right? And what are these allegations all about? What information you would want to get information from Mr. Mutsumi?
Not to probe him, but to check with him if you could really assist.
That's fine. That's what I mean. It's to get information,
Yeah.
to assist in understanding what was going on. Fair enough. But now when I asked you about this meeting, you said when I met with them. And if you were meeting with, if the topic of discussion was Jerry Boshoga, it would have been with Mr. Mutsumi alone, not with a broader group. Isn't that so?
Yes.
Okay. So the meeting now is about what then? What is it about?
Which one?
This meeting in June.
In June.
Yes.
At this present moment, I'm not sure whether it's still the same project we're working on, or at that point in time is when I was now going to discuss the issue of Mr. Boshoga. But the timelines are the ones that would hit me there, but I don't know.
Okay, well, I can tell you I'm advised that Mr. Boshoga was kidnapped in November 2024, so it couldn't have been about that.
All right. So which means it was still on the bucket system.
So it was the bucket system.
Yeah,
The urgent issue.
in the construction, yes.
But, and then you say that meeting never took place.
It never took place because when I finished late, they were gone.
So so let me just go back to that. You say, are they still there, 1939? And he says, Sergeant Nkosi, 1945, yes, how far? Give me 30 minutes on my way. And then you went to the venue. Sergeant Nkosi didn't come back to you to say, sorry, it's too late. They've left.
I think we spoke over the phone and said, no, they said we must postpone.
Okay.
Yes.
So if this meeting was about the report that you were working on, that's work-related. That's a work-related
Yes.
meeting.
Yes.
Why is it that it's Sergeant Nkosi who is the person who sets up these meetings? Let me put it a different way. Normally, when you set up meetings, you have a professional environment where you're setting up meetings with people, whoever it is, for this purpose, but for the purposes of work, you communicate through a PA, or you communicate directly
Yes.
with the person. Why is it that you communicate via Sergeant Nkosi? And in all of these, I've taken you through quite a few now of these meetings and arrangements that are being made, and it's always Sergeant Nkosi who's the person who is the go-between.
It is not in all instances where you have to communicate through the PA, because some meetings are meetings, like for an example, meetings with informers, it won't be with PAs. And in the underground or underworld or organized crime system, where you are able to get information from other criminals, you do get such information. I mean, we've met with criminals who are involved in cash in transit and then who assist with information on other criminal activity that will tell you about a particular matter that happened somewhere. So in that kind of a scenario or a situation where you meet someone like that, it's not like a question can be asked as to why didn't you arrange that meeting through the office, because it's not